Syndicate. PWS will be live Saturday, September 30th in Metuchen, New Jersey, about 30 minutes from New York City. Check out ProWrestlingSyndicate.com for matches and tickets where all are just $20. Okay? And the first card features Vader versus Sabu and MVP, New Jack, Manny Fernandez, and many others. What kind of makes me laugh is what kind of match you're really going to get out of Sabu and Vader. Vader, who just recently collapsed at a match in Japan. And you have Vader with the bad heart, and then you got Sabu with the bad hip. So you got bad heart versus bad hip. So what are you going to get out of that match? A 90 seconds to a 3-minute, aluminum foil man match? I mean, you're not getting anything good out of this match. But you're going to pay a lot of money for this match. So, I don't know. But they only want to charge $20 for tickets. Okay? Which undercuts everything and everybody in the area, because people usually do $25 for front row, $20 for regular seats, $15 general admission, or $15 for standing room only, whatever the case may be. So this is basically going to undercut everybody, and screws everybody competition wise on prices. So how do you put together a show that has maybe, I don't know, $15,000 worth of talent
without $15,000?
And yeah, okay, but then start a GoFundMe for $25,000 goal. So if you don't get the $25,000, they're going to cancel this show.
Third time's a charm.
I mean, to me, it makes no sense.
Same here.
Yeah. So I honestly, it doesn't make any sense to me. And this is a guy with... See, this is the problem. I mean, this is a guy with money issues in the past, okay? But this is the thing that was underneath the GoFundMe, how it has the description. Hello, my name is Lorenz Dean, which is using his gimmick name, not even his real name. I've been involved in pro wrestling for over 6 years as a wrestling talk show host, promoter, and wrestler. Throughout my career, I've been involved in numerous wrestling events as a silent partner, and I can tell you this business is not for the faint-hearted. I was able to experience firsthand the ups and downs of the wrestling industry, and be honest, I have no regrets. I've tackled some challenges alone and many with supportive people. Through these challenges, I've gained the knowledge and the strategies necessary to run a successful business. That's questionable.
Maybe what not to do.
This journey brought forth my passion and effortless commitment to the sport of wrestling. I live for this business, but the joy I feel when I see the fans well entertained by amazing talent is overwhelming. There is nothing in this world that puts competition to a successful business the way fans do. The purpose of this fund is for me to open a new wrestling business that caters to the wrestling community. This company is going to give you exactly what you asked for: raw talent, well put together storylines, phenomenal entertainment, but I can't do it without your support. I am launching a 1-year campaign to raise $25,000 for this cause. This fund will help cover the cost of equipment, promotions, talent, and venue. Along with this fund me account, I will be working on wrestling events and selling various products that will help raise money for this cause. I will make sure I explore all possible options to raise money necessary for us to see this goal. If you have any ideas that can help this campaign, please feel free to share them. With that being said, I would like to thank all the fans, wrestlers, commentators, promoters, yada yada yada. Okay. Now you're gonna do a show before. Now, wouldn't it be smart to do this for a year, then put a show in?
Of course.
Right.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
So you're gonna run a show.
Common sense was worth anything.
You're gonna run a show in a couple of months, but you're gonna run a fund me for a year. So how are you getting the money to run this show that's about $15,000 worth of talent? If you're trying to raise $25,000 just to start the company.
That's a good question.
Okay. See, this is what happens with these GoFundMe accounts. People suckered in, donate. This guy will cancel a show, close the account, and you got no show, and he's got all the money.
He's got all the money.
Now, if you wanted to start your own business, why would you buy PWS, a failed company, a company that's shut down? Why wouldn't you just start your own? You already started to. Why didn't you just go back to one of the names that you originally were going to use and start the company? So this tells me, which rumor I will say will room. Now, for now, where the hell is Fury?
I don't know.
I mean, seriously. Where is he? I need. Oh, all right. He had an accident with T. Anyway, basically, what most people are thinking is that, or according to Eric Pleska, is that he's going to mentor this guy, and supposedly there could be another partner involved. Okay, he's going to mentor these guys to put on a good show.
Show him how to do it the right way.
For a guy who's never ever been in the wrestling business before, Eric Pleska, other than starting a company and putting on shows, he's never wrestled, he's never reffed, he's never got his feet dirty in the wrestling business, other than putting on shows and padding his pockets and rumor, don't know this for a fact, rumor, stealing money from other people. Oh, and fact, selling fake autographs. Okay. Now, supposedly this guy's they're mentoring. He's mentoring them. Eric's going to show them how to use the money to fund the shows properly. But he's got no responsibility, because if the show goes bad, it's not Eric. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All right, Mr. Fury, welcome to the show. You okay now?
Oh man, did you get my message? I almost died.
Well, I hope you got your Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, my balls got the Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh,
I'm good now, brother.
Well, that's all right. If you're not having any kids, don't worry about it. So we were getting into how supposedly Eric Pleska is mentoring this Frank and Larry guy, and we were saying that he holds no responsibility, because now, if these guys put on a show and it bombs, or people don't show up, or they cancel the show and run away with all the money from the GoFundMe account, Eric still comes up squeaky clean, because he claims he's got no clause in this business.
Interesting.
So, but what I wanted to know was, from a guy, this guy Frank, who's had two failed businesses to begin with, and he's had loads of money issues. I mean, I hate to get personal, but I love getting personal. The guy worked for Tier 1, and at some point during his tenure there, he had money issues. He was evicted from his apartment. He wasn't paying. He was in trouble with child support. Where the hell is he getting this money to purchase Pro Wrestling Syndicate if the GoFundMe account was just started and it said they're going to run it for a year? But his first show's in a couple of months. $15,000 worth of talent with no money, but you want to try to collect $25,000 for a year to fund your new business. It's not adding up. Nothing's making sense here. So,
that's pretty good, man. I didn't even know that stuff. That's really good.
Dude, they don't call me Scoops for nothing, dude. I shovel. I dig. I dig. The internet is a powerful and a dangerous tool. But yeah, I mean, you screw over Tier 1. You go to House of Glory. You You tried to run a program called Pro Slam World out of the school. That failed. You didn't get a show off the ground. Then he goes and tries to start Infinite Wrestling. That failed before the first show. Then you announce you bought Pro Wrestling Syndicate, but you want to do a 1-year GoFundMe account, but yet you want to start your first show in September. It doesn't, like, you're not raising $25,000 before. To me, it sounds like this guy is he's gonna raise money, and right before September 30th show, he's gonna cancel, take the damn money out of the account, and see you later. And then nothing's ever gonna happen. PWS is never gonna happen. To me, that's because you know what, track record. That's what it tells me.
It's like, I think it's monopoly money. I think it's just, I don't know this dude. I've heard of him, and I don't even know Dennis. I actually met him once in my life. But I know the other venomous prick. I know him very, very well. I know that individual, and I just I know people booked on the show that were booked by Eric to work the show. So
right.
This is all fucking like if. A lot of people messaged me over the last 2 days, and they said, "Why? Why are you doing this? You don't attack anybody. I no sell everything."
Right.
I just and maybe I realized this morning that a lot of people don't like me. It took me a couple of years to realize that, but when something is truth, that I'll sell for, and what this guy is out there going, I sold this thing. That it's fucking bullshit, because I know personally, back in the wintertime when he was trying to sell it,
right,
that he was still involved in it. Right. He was still he had no credibility left in this industry. So he just needs somebody to go out there and say, I own this place. But you go back to the PayPal and you buy your tickets. It goes right back to Bed of Nails. I might just run a show called Bed of Nails now. I'm thinking about that actually.
Now this was, and you were on a phone call, if I remember correctly, with other promoters, and he was trying to petition to sell the company, but this was after he canceled that show.
Exactly. He didn't know that I was on the phone, because at the first point, it was never going to happen. Right. Talking to Rob Fury about, anything to do with what he was going to do wouldn't be privileged, because, him and I don't have a good history.
Right.
And, the point of the fact is, if you go back to January, we all did, we were in a show on the 20th of January, and you were there, and the Twisted Sisters were there, and there was a specific name talent on that show that runs that area, just did a show up there in Metuchen, and initially everybody thought that he was the guy who bought it, meaning Tommy Dreamer, but no, it's not Tommy, because I asked Tommy, I said, Tommy, do you have any dog in the fight in this? He said, I don't want anything to do with this thing, so this is not. This is like, what the reason I took this stance is because I see the fans and people that spend their hard money to go out to independent shows, and there's so many companies to choose, and they're believing this bullshit, and it's not the truth. Mm-hmm. I believe that this guy's starting whatever the GoFundMe is for that reason. I do believe you're right, but I also know that he has a lot of this talent ventured out, and that he's not paying for a fucking dime of this show, with the exception of renting the building.
Yeah, I was talking to someone about that, and they said, it's probably everything's all vendored out, and I'm sure he's charging, $100 per table for the vendors, and anybody wants to come and sell merch, I'm sure he's charging $100 a table. So and if you get sponsors, like there's ways of raising money for shows. We all know that. It doesn't matter if it's a wrestling show, a little league, or a radio show. There's ways of raising money to get it done. But I would never turn to this GoFundMe account, which I think is turned into the biggest farce I've ever seen. Because people, I need a new drum set. Go fund me. I really feel like they should start one that just says go F yourself. I mean, it's ridiculous. People are starting it. I don't have any money to go back to school. Well, then get a job. I mean, what do you want me to tell you?
I don't know when this thing was created. I mean, but I know that this guy's GoFundMe account. I didn't